You can't really talk about state assessments without talking about Common Core, which is a set of educational standards that Alabama agreed to adopt in 2009, actually before they'd even been written. These standards were not created by Alabamians in Alabama. They were created by federally funded agencies behind closed doors in Washington, D.C. And since I don't believe that Common Core standards were written with Alabama's children's best interests at heart, I don't believe that the associated curriculums and tests are an appropriate way to measure our students. Now, to be fair, I don't really like standardized tests anyway, because I don't think that they adequately or accurately measure meaningful learning. But now, each time our kids take a standardized test, they're in essence creating a permanent digital footprint that will follow them indefinitely. Now, the state of Alabama has tried to lead us to believe that this digital footprint is information that's owned exclusively within the state of Alabama. It will never be transferred outside our state. I don't necessarily believe that, but even if you believe that, I don't want my children's digital footprint associated with Montgomery any more than I want it sent off to Washington, D.C. So I think that his educational information needs to stay within his classroom and at his home. Now, my frustration has really grown with Dr. Bice, our state superintendent, and Dr. Fowler with Madison City Schools, because they have really refused to provide parents with any information that tells us that we can't opt out of tests or that we can. They've told us that we can, but they haven't provided any documentation to support that. And what we've really asked for is for them to tell us what our children are going to be doing on test day if they choose not to take tests. We've seen horror stories in the news all over the country about children who are being, in fact, bullied and mistreated by their school systems because their parents have chosen to opt them out of state tests. And I don't want to see that happen in Alabama. Our children deserve better. I love Alabama. I'm a product of the public school system here, and God willing, my children will be too. But I'm not asking for people to believe me or trust me or make the same decisions or come to the same conclusions that I have. I am really begging people, though, to do the research, to learn about Common Core, to learn about these assessments, and to make educated, fact-based decisions for themselves, and then to go advocate for Alabama's children.